Listen, the prison industrial complex is modern day slavery, right? It says in the Constitution that you are still a slave if you are in prison. All right, so we know that, the prison industrial complex has always been modern day slavery. The conditions of white supremacy, if you're classified as black or African American, is modern day slavery. But white supremacy is a global system. And so Libya, and of course there's other countries also, but Libya right now is the spotlight of where modern day human trafficking in broad overt slave trade is happening in Libya. And the slave owners are pale Arabs who are classified as white. All right. Check the U.S. Census Bureau. Those are facts. They classify themselves as white. If you have no melanin, you are considered white. But when you have a leader in the face of white supremacy, the leader in the face of white identity extremists, as in Donald Trump, aka Clockwork Orange, number 45. I'm going to say this. His behavior is so overt. I just have to give him props for his blatant racism that he continues to showcase on social media. And it's no different that he's able to continue to turn a blind eye to the issues, not only that's happening domestically, of course, like I said, with the prison industrial complex. Won't address that. Not at all. But the fact that he turns a blind eye to the slave trade in Libya and doesn't even want to address that directly, but he says basically that the reports about Libya slave trade from CNN is fake news. And you should only focus on Fox News, as in FAUX, Fox News. The white supremacist alternative facts, which is Fox News. The safe haven, the rest haven for white identity extremist journalism. I mean, you can't make this shit up, man. You can't. You can't. Let me switch my screen so you can see what I'm looking at, guys. Fake news. Libya seizes on Trump tweet to discredit CNN slavery report. So instead of focusing on the issue at hand that's happening out, and it's not just being reported in these two mainstream media platforms, it's international news. So his myopic white identity extremist persona only allows him to overtly deny the reports of the Libya slave trade and completely ignore what's going on, only to discredit the actual source of where it's coming from, which is CNN, and basically wants you to ignore CNN's reports and only focus on Fox News. For me, I wish more white supremacists were just like Clockwork Orange. Someone so overt, when you meet him, he has these code words that can easily be deciphered, right? Like, for instance, him calling LeVar Ball ungrateful, right? That's a code word for ungrateful nigger, right? It's just real easy to decipher his words, real easy. But I just wish more people were just so overt like that. I wouldn't like to know who my enemies are, in terms of white supremacy. It's, instead of being so covert. But man, this type of behavior from Clockwork Orange doesn't cease to amaze me at all. Doesn't surprise me, but it does amaze me how overt his racism is. It's just beyond reproach. It really is. Another interesting thing I want to talk about is, the UN, United Nations, decides to step in now. They want to call an emergency meeting about this and do an investigation. And this has been happening for quite some time, actually thousands of years. Since the Pale Arab decided to colonize North Africa. This has been happening thousands of years. So now they're indicating that the Libya slave trade and this is human trafficking, and this is crime against humanity. Well, the last time I checked, the largest human trafficking event in recorded history is the transatlantic slave trade, which happened in 1505, which happened for over 500 years. People classified as black or African American have not received one damn penny. Now, I want justice everywhere regarding human trafficking of our brothers and sisters out in Libya and North Africa. I want justice for sure. And in the form of reparations, that'll be great. But our people out here in the U.S. are, descendants of slaves. Our ancestors. We are descendants of slaves. We haven't received a dime. And we are the descendants of the transatlantic slave trade. Right? Again, like I said, it's been happening since 1505. And we are still in evolving phases of white supremacy under the gills of white supremacy. We're still in a system that's owned and controlled by the dominant white society. We're still oppressed people. Okay? So the UN, I don't know what y'all doing. But I'd say it's too little too late. But if this is your form of helping the situation, and you can get, a form of justice, as in reparations for our brothers and sisters out in Libya, hey, I'm not going to stop you. Much props to you doing that. But again, the transatlantic slave trade is the largest human trafficking event in recorded history. And we have not received a dime in the form of reparations. Point blank and simple. So, yeah. Going back to Clockwork Orange, aka Donald Trump. Like I said, this guy, his racism is so overt. It's basically like we're in the new Jim Crow era for white supremacy in 2018. Basically, this year is already over. It's, December is right around the corner, and the next thing you know, it's January. So we're in 2018. So we're in a new phase of white supremacy. We're in the new phase of white identity extremists being led by Donald Trump, aka Clockwork Orange, number 45. So, it is what it is. I mean, his white supremacist base is loving it. Whatever he says, because he is their deity, whatever he says goes. He goes after LeVar Ball, right? And his white supremacist cronies will go after LeVar from Reading Rainbow. So they'll go after any black guy whose first name is LeVar. Like I said, I mean, his base, they love it. They love the way he talks. And he's feeding right into his base. And they're like mindless piranhas. Anything he throws in the water, they'll eat it up. Chew it up. You know. So anyway, family, those are my thoughts on that. Leave your comments down below in the comments section. Don't forget about my 5K subscriber giveaway. I did a live stream on it. Check that out. The rules are in that live stream. If you want to participate, watch the video, read the description, and you'll get a chance to win 2 books by Neely Fuller Jr. The compensatory code system concept, counter racism book, and the compensatory concept word guide. All right, 2 books I'm giving away, and that would be, I would select the winner December the 8th. All right, next week at 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, so stay tuned for that. All right, family. So until next time, Chauncey, a.k.a. the Black Separatist, signing out. Peace.